Hello everybody, I'm here to give a brief overview of rock and roll music. Rock and roll is a genre of popular music founded in the 1950s and is heavily influenced by many different popular genres such as jazz, folk, and even country and western. The term rock and roll was first coined by an Ohio DJ named Alan Freed back in 1955. Also, due to the development of rock and roll and how rapid it was, there was never truly a first rock and roll single. However, that spot is often debated between Chuck Berry and Bill Haley for being the first rock and roll single. As rock and roll grew, its rebellious attitude quickly made its way to the United Kingdom, where it influenced the creation of many bands such as The Who, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, and most importantly, the Beatles. The Beatles became one of the most influential bands that has ever been around, and as rock and roll grew, each decade was generally associated with a specific genre of rock, the 1960s being psychedelic rock, the 70s being progressive rock, the 80s being hard rock and heavy metal, and the 90s being grunge. One of the most important events in rock and roll history is Woodstock. Woodstock was a 3-day music festival held on Max Yasker's dairy farm in Bethel, New York. The original idea for Woodstock was for the land to be built into a recording studio, but that idea quickly changed into making it a music festival. The idea of the music festival drew in thousands of people from all across different states and everywhere, and the amount of people it drew in forced 3 days to become 4, and there are over 32 different bands who played, and some of those being Janis Joplin, The Who, Jimi Hendrix, and Santana. As the technology in the music industry grew, rock and roll has unfortunately become a dying genre. However, it does live on in many of today's popular genres such as modern rap and modern pop music, and also in genres such as punk rock and indie rock. And due to the fact that music will always be cyclical, the fact that this genre is changing doesn't necessarily mean that it'll ever die. Thanks.